Hey everybody, Jamie Kelly here. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Season 3 of the Approximate Podcast. Be sure to join our Patreon for only $5 a month to see all of Season 3's episodes in full HD video. That's patreon.com/approximate podcast. If you're already a patron, thank you so much for your support. And to everyone who's tuned in, we love you all. And now, on with the show. Kitty! Fucking stop it. God damn it. Fucking cat. Yeah, you. Oi. Scrapple. Stop it. All right, cut. We're done. Fucking cat. God damn it. Holy shit. Guys, we have Sarina, Havok, and Robin Coffins. This has been a long time coming. Guys, say hello.
Woo! Hi.
I'm so pleased. When we started setting up season 3 and we were making our lists of potential guests, whole Google Docs thing, you were a pair that we wanted to have on immediately. And the thing is, it's special because, I mean, we could have just had you, Sarina, on, or we could have just had you, Robin, on, but there's something that was so special about y'all's story that we found so charming. Like, there was no way we couldn't have both of you on at the same time, because it just seems, from the outside looking in, it just seems like your stories are so intertwined.
Only way to do it. Y'all are items.
The only way to do it was to have you guys both on. Yeah. So I'm so glad that you guys can make it out. This is going to be amazing. I can't wait.
We're happy to be here. Glad you could have both of us.
Yeah. One of the first things that I want to remark on, as of the time of this recording, Robin, you, something really special happened recently, within the past month and a half. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Maybe.
Let's talk about this magazine.
Yes.
Let's talk about this spread that you got. Tell us all about this. What's happening? Because I was okay. Just before you get going,
okay.
I was on set about a month and a half ago in your guys' house.
Yes.
When the magazine of which I'm talking about was actually delivered to you.
Yes. I finally got it.
So, tell me the story, because I don't know anything about how it happened or how long you've been waiting or how you feel about it, or I want to know everything. So tell me about this magazine spread.
Yeah, so it was Alt-Star Magazine, and it is issue number 20, if anybody wants to look it up.
Nice.
And they did an interview of me last year right after the Alt-Star Awards, because Sarina and I won Best Cam Duo at the Alt-Star Awards last year. So I got interviewed, and I didn't realize that I was even going to get a photo shoot or anything. I thought they were just asking me some questions. And then, a few months went by, and I got contacted for the photo shoot. And even then, I had no idea that I was going to be on the cover. I was like, what? When it came out, I was just shocked. They didn't tell me anything.
Wow.
I had no idea. But it was amazing, and I'm so excited.
Well, okay, so just so the fans and people that are watching know and hear about it, hey, name the magazine and the episode again.
It's Alt-Star Magazine.
And it was episode 20 or
yeah.
issue 20?
Issue 20, yes.
Issue 20.
Yeah, and it just came out, and it took a couple weeks to get it in the mail, but I think they had quite a lot of requests.
And what is the flavor of the magazine? I mean, the title kind of tells you, but what is it?
Well, Alt-Star Awards is the award show that we have for the alt community in porn. So they have a magazine and they feature different alt members in the community, models. And they actually did 8-page spread on me in the magazine, and we did the shoot in a cemetery, actually, and it was my first shoot in a cemetery. I know I should have done it sooner, but I had to, and it turned out amazing. And Amelia G and Forrest Black, legends, beautiful work. It came out so cool, and
I'm looking at it right now.
Had great ideas.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
And I wore my wedding dress for the shoot, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the crown and everything was custom made for my wedding.
Did you have knowledge of this magazine?
Yeah. So
You were already a fan, so did it
Yeah.
feel like extra cool that you got to be on it?
yeah, no, I was really stoked on. And then they have the award show, and so everybody that was voting for the award show, my magazine was just right there on the side, advertised next to each voting page. I was like, this is so fucking cool.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank
Huge
you.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank
Huge
you.
congratulations on that.
Big W.
Yeah, huge
Yeah.
fucking W.
Big W.
Do you have like a favorite photo?
The cover.
The cover.
I mean,
course.
that
There
one
you go.
we did all the pictures in the cemetery, and then we did a few in the set, like so that they could like cut the background out and stuff.
Right.
So, but all the rest of the photos are all in the cemetery, and it looks so cool.
Did you have any idea or inkling that you were gonna win?
No, actually, it was a huge surprise.
It was a huge surprise.
Yeah. So last year, when we got the Alt Star Award for Best Cam Duo, it was actually our first award that we ever got. So we were super shocked by it. And then we've picked up a few more now. And then this year at Alt Star, our production company that we do, our Wedding Orgy, won the fan favorite for Best Alt Porn Feature.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been crazy
Yeah.
this year.
I
And the
love it.
teas and everything.
Class.
Kind of like the icing on the cake for our wedding, really.
I have a button for this.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet.
Hey, I like the taste of cheese. We're gonna go cheesy.
Yeah, and of course you were at the teas, and we both
Yeah.
picked up something there this year
Yeah,
too.
yeah, we certainly did.
And
Been a big year.
it's been a crazy year. Yeah, it's getting really good.
Fucking A, I love it. Sarina,
Yes.
Sarina.
what have you been up to?
Lots of camming and stuff like that.
Lots of camming.
We
So
were-
you're really rocking the camming.
Yeah, we were doing.
Is that like where all your energy's going right now?
A lot of it. I'm doing still some like new shooting and stuff, but a lot of camming. I was doing like 3 shows a week last year, with Robin typically, but lately I've actually been camming with like guest stars kind of thing. So it'll be me and like another trans girl or whatever, and that's been really fun because it kind of changes it up.
Well, I have a question like that. One professional to another. I don't specialize in camming whatsoever. I'm a very different kind of person. I like to be able to. I don't run so well on the fly. I like production and taking time and not being fucked with by fans.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I know there's a lot of money in it. I know there's a lot of money in camming. And so do you find that like camming is that like your preferred means of being a performer?
Not really. I wouldn't say that. Like, it's the first thing that I started with, actually. So, what year was it? Like 2016, the end of 2016, maybe. I started camming when I was like working a regular job, and I was like, oh, well, I'll just do this. So, I was like what I was familiar with. And then, even up until I met Robin, because I cammed before I met her, that was kind of something I was doing. So, it's kind of like the root of my sex work career, I guess. And so it's nice to be able to go on live and talk to fans and like hear feedback, and it's just been kind of cool. Also kind of like being able to like really figure out how it all works and then kind of make cooler shows as we go along. And
Right. Well, I was going to say, you do anything long enough, whether you like it or not, you're going to get like proficient at it. So have you like won any personal awards for the cam show stuff, or have like received any kind of accolades or?
Yeah, so aside from the Best Cam Duo that we won, I actually at the Trans Erotica Awards this year won the Cam Performer of the Year award.
Yes.
So that was shocking and like horrible at speeches. So it
Oh,
was
were
terrifying.
you were nervous?
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
I heard my name and I'm like, oh my God, now I got to go up there and say something eloquent. And I'm just like, I don't know what to say.
Aw.
You know, like
Well, once you
my
get-
mind goes blank.
Once you get up there, though, it's not that bad. You say a few words and then you march off the stage right, you know?
Yeah, and the way they have it, you can't even really see the audience too much from up there.
The
Not-
the
Yeah.
blinding lights.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And you're
yeah.
just like, oh.
Like 90% of the audience is already drunk by that
Yeah,
point,
yeah.
you know? It's,
Absolutely.
It's
Not
just
me,
it
though.
just becomes a nice, like, blur. So,
Yeah.
I'm always the one that ends up crying.
oh.
Yeah, I like get up there and I can't even say anything. I'm just crying. I'm like, "Ah, ugly crying. I gotta go. Don't look at me.
Thank you for this glass thing. I don't know.
And then, like, of course, this year we decided to wear our wedding dresses because the wedding orgy was nominated and stuff. So we wore our wedding dresses.
You played up the theme
Yeah.
of the
Yeah,
nomination.
Yeah.
Oh, that is
So-
cute.
Basically, I had this massive, like, pink princess dress with,
Aw.
like, you know, big, I don't know what you would even call it, hoop skirt underneath.
Sure, sure.
And I'm, like, trying to, like, walk through the crowd, and
Everybody's
there's not enough
sitting.
space. I'm kind of, like, hitting people in the face with my dress as I'm going up.
Oh.
And I'm just like, sorry.
Oh.
Beauty is pain. Beauty is pain.
It was so worth it, though. That dress was awesome, and I got to wear my wedding dress twice. So
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm very curious about this next thing because this plays into like how special it is having you guys come on and like me and Steph talking behind the scenes about like who we're gonna get on and like why we feel having certain people on is gonna be so important. I want to know and take all the time that you guys need because I know it's gonna be an involved story. Not to put you on the spot. It's going to be a two-parter. One, how did you guys meet? Don't answer yet. And two, was y'all's like introduction into the industry tied together? Or was it a confluence of you meeting? Or did you guys meet because of the industry? Okay, go.
I found her on Tinder, and I like super liked her because I was like, oh my God, her eyebrows, like, I fell in love with her eyebrows immediately.
Real quick, for the sake of storytelling, give me a time and a place. Like, when was this and where were y'all at when you guys met through this app?
It was September 2016.
Oh my God.
Knows the
Oh, this is love.
Yeah.
This is love. We know dates.
I changed my Facebook status on the 15th of September in 2016. But yeah, we were living in Ontario, and-
Canada. You
yeah.
guys come from Canada way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then you had cammed a few times before meeting me, and I had always wanted to, but I wasn't allowed because of my ex.
She was married.
Oh my goodness. The
Anyway,
plot thickens.
The plot thickens.
Plot thickens, yes.
Yeah. No wife of mine is gonna have their naked body on the internet.
Oh, one of those, huh?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So we hit it off right away, and we did the classic lesbian U-hauling, of course.
Literally.
Literally.
We got a U-Haul truck, and we moved her stuff out while he was at work during the day.
To be fair, he was very
That's
dramatic.
great.
Yeah.
Right. right.
Yeah, it was necessary.
It was necessary.
Did somebody move into somebody's house or did you guys find like a third location?
We got an apartment together,
Ah.
and at the time I was selling cell phones and pulling my hair out because the cable company, they always try to like push sales, and she was doing camming already. So one day I'm just like, I can't do this. I can't go to work right now. I'm going to lose it. And she's like, you know what? Why don't you just quit?
I was like, don't go to
Let's-
work today. Like, if it makes you that stressed,
Just
just don't go to work. And she's like, I'm going to lose my job. I'm like, I don't really care. We'll figure it out. Like,
You'll figure it out. You'll
So we
figure it out.
started camming together.
So she corrupted you.
Yeah. We kind of started from scratch together.
yeah, I mean, I guess I cammed like a bit, but it was like, I don't know, kind of a side thing or whatever. But then when we started doing it together, it started becoming more fun. And there's like that
Serious,
passion
like-
and that like real intimacy
Yeah.
of like two people who are young and in love. And I think that really showed through to the audience.
This was the vibe I got, knowing nothing. Because, I mean, we've known each other in passing,
Yeah.
for almost about 3 years now.
Yeah.
You know, just folks living in Vegas, being a part of the same industry. But I always had this inkling that that might be the way it was, that everything came from this like really organic, like loving place.
Yeah.
I could have been wrong. I could have been
No,
wrong.
yeah, it was.
You know, but
And then crazy sex.
y'all planted the seed together, and now here y'all are.
Yeah. It was really interesting because like we got this apartment together.
Yeah.
And we were there.
This is in
for-
Canada.
Yeah, and it was like all snowy and cold, and there was like a few months there where we were just like, oh, I don't know if this is what we really want to do. So
As far as like the business.
like
Location.
Oh, the location.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So basically, we decided to pack up everything that we owned, and
In
load
our
car
2001
up.
Cavalier.
Nice 2001 Cavalier. I paid $300 for.
Humble beginnings. I love it.
We just hit the road and came down to Vegas and stuff. We're like, we're gonna, I don't know.
What made you guys decide on Vegas?
I lived here when I was 18.
Oh, I see.
Yes. I very shortly. I grew up in Los Angeles,
Ah,
and then I moved out here when I was 18 for work. Of course, I started stripping, but you know, I
sure.
was saving for college.
Of course.
You know,
Classic.
classic.
So she already had some like knowledge. I was just from like a really small town in Canada, and everything was like kind of new to me. Like I saw Vegas and LA and stuff on TV, but I'd never been down here. So I was like, you know what? That sounds really cool. Let's just drive down. And then, I mean, it didn't really work out the first time. We went back to Canada and just kind of did our thing for a bit. And then I think it was like the next year we got nominated for the TEA Awards.
Yeah.
And we were just driving around in our car making like little fun video projects, it felt like. and putting them
Let's
up
be
on
honest, we lived in our car.
we lived in our car.
I probably have this all wrong. When you say living in your car,
In the Cavalier.
was there not a point, and maybe I'm skipping too far ahead or skipping too far backwards, but wasn't there a point where you guys had like a mobile home or a,
Yeah, that was years later.
that was years later?
Years later, yeah.
We started with the car. It was really wonderful. It had like duct tape on the bumper and it was all like rusted out and stuff. But we would like sleep in the back and put the seats down basically, you know, so you could put your feet in the trunk. And then we would like lay and cuddle. It's really hard on the back though.
Oh, yeah. No. I know. I'm no stranger from sleeping in cars at early ages. I get
Yeah.
it.
Oh my God. And like
Yeah.
basically we just travel all over. We were like, well, we were just in love and we just want to travel. Like this was more like a means for us to just travel around and have money for gas and food.
This is this traveling around and sleeping in cars. This is after your first try at Vegas. Is that what I'm hearing? Or
Yeah. We came down for a bit, and then because she's Canadian,
right?
we can only stay for a little while, so we had
That
to go
sounds
back
so
up.
accusatory.
We're waiting for her green card.
Yeah, we're in the process. But
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, it was kind of just like a short term. I don't know. It just seemed fun at the time. But yeah, then it was funny because we got nominated for the TEAs, and I'm like,
after
wait.
we shot for Groovy, actually.
Yeah, I shot my first Groovy scene, and it was like, we're nominated for some awards show in Los Angeles. This is amazing. We have to go. I don't know how, but we got to go. So we drove down for that.
I have so many questions. So forgive me if I start from like a weird spot in the story that you guys have been telling. But I got to get this out of the way. Sarina, you specifically, what was your like relationship with porn? Like, did you know that the T Awards were a thing? Did you know, like what it was to shoot with Groovy, or did you have any designs on like, being within the industry proper?
I didn't actually
didn't?
know. I just started camming. I was just like, oh, that would be fun to do. I had a friend who did it, and she's like, oh, you should do that. So she kind of showed me how to set it up and do chatterbait and do many vids. And then back then was like extra lunch money was another one. And I kept joking about it to friends. I kept being like, you know what? I could just do porn. I'm not getting any younger. I'm just gonna. And then eventually it stopped becoming a joke. And then
Right. Well, at what point did it stop, quote unquote, becoming a joke?
I think that was Chelsea Marie.
well, no,
She
it was
told
before.
You to shoot with Groovy.
Well, I mean, I did the camming and stuff, but then yeah. So I actually had talked to Chelsea Marie
Right.
before, just on like a chat room or something. and
Sure.
we were like, hey, we should play video games sometime. And then basically, I guess years later when we were in Vegas, I messaged her and I was like, hey, like, do you shoot with other people? And she was like, hey, you should hit up Groovy. So I messaged Groovy, and then Basically did my first shoot for Canada Tea Girl with Vito, Soho, and we became pretty good friends. I'd say after that, it was like we had a lot of fun shooting like cool creative stuff.
Yeah.
So
He's really creative.
we kind of started off with that like creative little projects, like I said, where we're just like filming shot for shot in our car or whatever. And then one of the first ones, or the second one maybe, that we did for Canada, or for Groovy with me and Robin was like this asylum one, where she was like a ghost, and it was cool.
So once you got your first groovy shoot, did that it put you in a way where you considered like actually trying to be a part of being a part of the studio system and getting shoots like that? Like, did it change your ambition?
Actually, I think it made us realize that we could do it ourselves.
Yeah, so we started, I got my Groovy shoot, but then we were like meeting girls at conventions or stuff, and we were like, hey, maybe we could film you, and then, kind of work out a trade thing, and then,
That's how amateur production started.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we started like producing other girls, and then kind of
Yeah.
doing that for a while.
And they loved the videos. They're like, oh, it's my best-selling video.
Nice.
Now the nerd in me has to ask this question. Which one of you is the nerdy tech one? Who's in charge of buying the cameras and running shit?
Oh, that's
Oh, I do.
she does camera. I do
do
computer
the
stuff.
cameras and stuff, and she does
See.
computers. Yeah,
I do like set design and directing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
yeah.
I love set design.
This is I love this. This is such like a grassroots intertwined. You guys are coming from like
Yeah.
such an organic, independent way of doing things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little like cottage industry. I
Yeah,
love
it's
it.
great.
We also did that thing where we're like, we can do everything. And then we're like,
Yeah.
oh, we can't do everything all at once. We got to like,
Oh, yeah.
figure
Yep.
out a system here.
You
know?
can do everything, but should you?
You got to kind of juggle a little.
It just seems to me that like as you guys are starting to build, now you create options. And you're like, which way do we go? How do we want to approach it? What is the best? Did you guys start to get that feeling of things getting a little more serious and now now we have to actually make a business plan
Yeah.
and figure out what we got to do? It was that kind of thing?
Yeah, definitely. That was the decision to move to Vegas.
I feel like
part of
it happened in the last few years where we were like, oh, maybe we should actually like really start taking things seriously. Like,
Yeah. It was always just money to travel.
yeah,
We're like, you know what? We keep getting nominated. Let's go for one of those awards. Let's do this.
I don't know. It was just like a lot of fun at first, and it was like we only really shot with each other to start. Like we would just do solos or
2
do
years.
stuff together and travel around to different places. We went to like Slovakia, and so there's this castle, like Elizabeth Bathory's castle.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, there's a whole fucking story here. First of all,
Oh, you guys know.
going overseas, like, what prompted that?
Oh, there was like a guy that we knew from work at this club in Canada, and he told us, "Oh, I'm a DJ and stuff. You should come to Hungary." We were gonna go to Sweden to see some friends, and then he's like, "You should come to Hungary first." And then that was like a whole.
I said, wait a minute. Hungary. Isn't that near Slovakia? I'm terrible at geography. And he's like, yeah, it's right next door. I'm like, oh my God, I have always dreamed of going to Elizabeth Bathory's castle. You know, growing up as a young goth, it's just been one of those bucket list items. And I was like, fuck yeah, we gotta fucking go. And then so we went. That was a long trek. Oh my God.
I don't know how many buses and trains and trams, and I really don't know.
The whole time I'm egging you on. I'm like, we have to film some porn in the castle.
And we had like a friend
We
who was
have
like
to do it.
European. She's like,
Don't
don't
do it.
that
Oh
because
my
like,
God.
what if you get arrested and you go to jail and all of this, right? So like.
But we get up there, there's only 2 people that were working there.
And it is in the middle of nowhere, right?
Nowhere. The train station was so old.
The train station,
Nobody worked there.
all the windows were barred off. There was nobody there. It was closed. Like you couldn't get a ticket back.
Yeah. Wow.
That was the thing that happened.
We're like walking in, and there's like miles of like just graveyards as far as the eye can see. And you walk in, there's this big church in the middle of town. There's like a big wood carving of Elizabeth Bathory like stepping on one of her servant girls while she screams.
Yeah, and I get
And
another
a cage.
cage.
Wow.
Not a soul on the street.
It was weird. It was like this liminal space. You're like, am I in reality right now?
Oh,
Or,
wow.
Like,
And then a 45-minute
Walk.
hike, like
Yeah.
up a straight
a
uphill to
mountain.
get to the actual castle.
What?
You couldn't drive up there even if you had a car. They don't allow it.
It's just like a whole other world. And it's so silent up there.
Oh, it was dead, like still. The air was still. It was crazy.
So we ended up finding a corner and getting our phones out, and we filmed a porn video in this castle.
She came in my mouth, and then I put the cum on the castle wall as like a little offering. Thank you for letting us use your a little sex magic.
Yeah.
Who shot it? Did you guys like haul up all your own gear and do it yourselves, or?
Oh, we've always back in the day it was always guerrilla style like this, just holding the phone.
Wow.
I started, so like
People loved it.
on like a broken 32 gigabyte like tablet and just like a Samsung S3.
Wow.
And that was kind of
I think it was a 5.
I
But
don't
either
know,
way,
that was the technology that we had.
That's
So
all we
were
had.
just going to use that and a selfie stick. And so that's kind of what we had for a while. We were just using an old Samsung phone to make our stuff.
What an adventure.
Yeah, it was,
sounds like
good because
such
at
an
least your
adventure.
phone is there with you, right? And then we almost got caught in the middle of it.
oh yeah, I pulled it up quick. As soon as he walked away, we're like, okay.
It was
So funny.
quite the adventure.
So what happened after that? So once you get back from Slovakia, where do you go? Where's home base? Where are you in your travels and journeys?
Well, we went to Sweden for a little while.
Do you guys do like a whole like European tour?
We did a miniature
Kind
European
of like
tour.
the intent, but
Yeah.
it went.
We're planning another one
Interestingly.
soon, though.
Yeah.
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 Hopefully by the end of the year, actually.
We were young and I'd been to like Sweden, but I hadn't been to like,
Hold on, wait, just a second. We're young.
well,
Jesus, you guys are babies.
like when you're just kind of like not,
When you're invincible.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like nothing
Yeah.
could go wrong. And then you finally get there and you're like, oh my God, this is kind of crazy. And then like people are scamming you and stuff because they can tell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You get stuck because the train station closed and you have to spend the night outside of the train station. And
Yeah.
some people try to
They know.
assault you.
Foreigners.
We had to like hide in like, what is that, a phone booth?
Yeah.
And I luckily had steel toe boots on. I had to hold the door
It's like shaking.
shut
trying to
while
get
they're
into it.
trying to like get in and get at us.
They're like
and, making
gesturing
crude
at us.
gestures.
Like, and we
And-
called the cops and they wouldn't do anything and they left us there with
They
them.
said there's no blood. So
There's no blood. Can we come back to the station with you? No.
Oh my God.
And then
was
they were pissed. So
kind of terrifying.
it was terrifying.
In Hungary.
We ran and like hid in a hotel that we found nearby.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was scary. And then the hotel clerk helped us find a way out, like to a different train station that they were not at.
So Hungary was terrifying, but Slovakia actually was kind of cool
Gorgeous.
because so Bratislava, people kept being like, "Don't go there. That's where Hostel is filmed," and all. And it's like I
Such
don't
a bad rap.
Oh.
whatever. So we get there and you kind of go into town and there's this like giant tower that kind of looks like the Seattle, what is that, the Needle or something?
Yeah, the Space Needle.
Yeah, so that, but it has these like green lasers shooting out in all directions from it, visible lasers. And those reflect off of mirrors throughout the city to different points of interest. So you can follow the lasers.
Oh my
Castle
God.
over here, a church
And it's
over
like
here.
the most beautiful, clean city that I think I've seen in Bratislava. Like,
Oh, that's amazing.
I want to go back there.
And then tower leads you back to the bus station if you follow it back.
Always find your way back.
We want to go back. That place was beautiful.
Yeah. that
We
was-
were expecting the worst.
You guys have been, I mean, I know there's a lot of details and we're dipping back and forth in time, but the picture that y'all are painting is just, it's knowing what we know and what we've discussed. It's so romantic. It's such a romantic story. And this is just one bit of it.
We have a lot of stories actually.
Oh, too many, really.
Yeah.
But
But that's
Cool
why
to-
our personal site has always been sarinaandrobin.com.
Okay, so y'all share a quote unquote solo personal site. What? Okay, wow.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, what is it again? It's whatandwhat.com?
Sarina and Robin.
SarinaandRobin.com.
because we're like the dynamic duo.
Now, is that completely self-run?
Yes,
It's no other companies are
built it
attached to
and
it.
I designed
She
it.
made the website herself, actually.
I like building websites.
Is it doing well? Is that like
Yeah.
where people mainly find you, or is that where you drive traffic to?
We're having
drive
more now.
Now, yeah. But we didn't know where we were going to be or anything like that. And we only recently decided that Vegas is going to be our home base. We've kind of been all over the place. Like, because she's Canadian, as I said before, she can only be here for a certain amount of time. So we would go to Mexico for several months on end and live there for a while and then come back and do some work in Vegas and then travel back to Canada. And so it's always been like, where are we going to be next couple months? I have no idea. What are we doing now?
Right.
But that was part of the fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Figuring it out is half the fun. It's good living.
it is. It is.
So you were talking about the RV earlier, actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we went back to Canada during the thing that happened.
The Rovid.
Yeah. And so we ended up like in Ontario, and we were like, well, we want to get an RV. We want to kind of do the like van life thing because we did the car, and we were like, we need more space. So we ended up paying like $5,000 for this like old 1983 Chevy RV. It was like painted blue. People kept calling it the Breaking Bad RV because it was like it was
It
interesting
looked just
looking.
like that one, only blue.
And like to give you a bit of a picture, like there was only one of the windshield wipers worked on the RV, and it was the passenger side. So we're like, well, we can't have that, but also I don't have time to be like getting a new one. So I actually just like tied a rope outside to the actual windshield wiper, and then I tied another one to the other one so I could like pull it, and it would do this kind of situation.
Oh,
It broke down
wow.
every day.
It broke down every single day. We drove it from like Toronto to Quebec, from Quebec to British Columbia,
Yeah.
and then British Columbia to Vegas. And every day it broke down. It was like this big Chevy 454, like V8 engine.
Yeah.
We filmed the whole thing, but it's been in production
In
hell.
limbo right
'cause
now.
There's just so much footage. It's like, how do I edit that right now?
Yeah.
There's so
there
much
was-
other things I need to edit.
Luckily, we caught some of the like coolest moments too, because like I don't know why we were rolling, but
I was just rolling all the time.
our transmission line blew on the side of the road in like Seattle, and so all of the fluid went out and the gears start grinding. So we pull over, and I go to start filling it up, and I drop like transmission fluid on the manifold, and it flashes, and all of a sudden our engine is on fire. There's like carpet.
I'm
and
like
stuff around.
recording, and then I was like, shit! And I dropped the camera and ran for the fire
Oh my
extinguisher.
God.
But I got
It's
it on
on
there.
video. Yeah, we got like the fire extinguisher out, and I'm just like, oh my gosh.
We'd always be like, okay, guys, so today we have to fix the blank.
It was invincible though, like literally Toronto, Quebec, British Columbia here. And aside from breaking down every day, it always got us where we were going. And we could always fix it
Or
within
maybe
a couple hours.
Or maybe we always got us where we,
we
were
always,
going.
yeah, maybe.
If you think about it that way.
I have immediately 3 questions I want to ask. So let me get to the dumbest one first, and we could probably cut this out because I don't know. I'm probably wrong about my recollection, but it was probably about maybe 2.5 years ago. I don't know. I do recall through social media. I think it was on Twitter. Did somebody have a problem with like their teeth or something? And I remember. Oh, it was Robin.
Yeah, I did.
I remember like I saw it right away, and even back then, which I barely knew who you guys were. I remember like there was like some sort of, what was it, GoFundMe or something like that.
Yeah.
One of those kind of things. And I like gave some money.
Yeah.
You know, I was just trying to help as best I could because even then, not even knowing about you, we're all, humans, we recognize patterns. I could see that there was like good people in a bind, and it's like, fuck, here's like $50 or something.
Yeah, I remember.
You know,
Yeah.
and did it help?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my God.
Oh, good.
That was one of the reasons, another reason why we ended up in Mexico, because here in Vegas, they told me they wanted 12 grand to fix my teeth.
Yeah.
And they sat her down. Well, they sat both of us down in dental chairs in different offices. They brought her to a different one. And they sit me down and they slapped me with like a 2,000 something bill. They're like, if you sign this, we can start. And then the same thing with her. They're like, oh, here, 4,000 right now, and then X amount later. And we're going to pull your front teeth out, they
They're
said to
gonna
her.
pull all of them. So during Christmas, I went to my sister's house, which was the first family Christmas that I had been to in 10 years. And my nieces were playing around, and the one niece, she threw the other one on top of me and she punched me and knocked my whole tooth loose. And then they wanted to pull all of them because everything got all fucked
All
up.
got messed up. So all the bottom ones.
Yeah, all the
Wow.
front ones. So I have like a retainer now, and we were able to save it in Mexico.
She like came home crying.
was
She's like, they wanted to
crying.
rip my teeth out, and I'm like, I don't really know what we're gonna do. We just got here because of the RV thing,
Yeah.
and at that point we were just exhausted. We didn't know what to do, and we're like,
I feel like it was Crystal that told me to start the GoFundMe.
oh, I think so. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because I was
She
just
would, the angel.
crying. I was like, I don't know what we're gonna do. Like,
And we're like, I don't know. We don't.
we were
really
living
have
in the
12K.
RV here. Yeah.
So I thought about, my nanny used to go down to Mexico for like surgeries or for tooth stuff or whatever. So I was like, what if we just call up like a Mexican dental place?
Just call it Mexico, she said.
Yeah, I'm like, let's
she
do that.
she
So
picks up the phone and calls.
I called them and
Hello?
I'm like, how much is this gonna cost to fix all of these things? And they're just like, oh, like $3,000 or something.
Yeah,
all
for
in.
both of us.
For
yeah.
both of us to get, because I had a root canal that I needed too, and I was in a ton of pain, and so that was kind of like, thank you, and it was kind of good because a lot of fans were actually really helpful, and then it wasn't too much. Pain
I was
for too long.
overwhelmed by the generosity.
How does the story go from there? Because I know, so I'm going like about 2.5 years back, but leading up to this day, through all that turmoil, how did getting out of that turmoil and winding up here, what does that journey look like?
So while we were in Mexico, well, actually, let me go back a little bit. When we first got together, I was obviously desperately in love with this girl, and she told me that if I wanted to marry her, I had to wait 5 years, and then she would tell me whether or not that would be okay. Like, we would discuss it, rather. Sorry, I said that wrong. But so we're in Mexico getting our teeth fixed mid-pandemic. Oh my God. So we realized that it had been about 5 years, and we were kind of talking a little bit about it. And so I decided to take the leap, and I proposed to her on the beach. It was
Almost too perfect, really.
yeah, it was crazy because we were walking past this restaurant where they do parties and stuff. And there was a wedding that just happened, and everybody had already left, and they started cleaning up the chairs. And I saw the arch it faced the ocean or whatever. And so I was like, hey, do you want to take a picture with me in that arch? I think they'll be cool with it. So I walked up to the guy who was working there cleaning up the chairs. I was like, hey, could you just take our picture real quick? And he's like, okay, cool. So we go over there. She's feeling silly. And I'm like, now's the time. So then I get down and she's like, what the fuck? And then so I asked her. And then she said yes. She was really shocked. And all of a sudden, the beach just lit up with applause and screaming for us. And we were so
I didn't know anyone
mortified.
was watching.
We didn't realize, the whole time. And then it actually turned out that the guy clued into what was going on and he filmed it.
Oh my
Instead,
The whole
he took
thing on
pictures
video?
and
Oh
then
my
he
God.
filmed it. And so we have a video of everybody cheering and they're like, beso, 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 which means kiss.
Yeah.
And we were just like, oh my God. And we ran away because we were so
Shy,
shy.
and we just ran back to our apartment.
Like,
We were like,
"Thank
that
you."
was cute.
I wasn't expecting it to go like that.
So fucking wonderful. I love it.
So we were like, where are we going to get married? Because where are the most people that we want to be at our wedding to celebrate
Sure,
with us?
sure.
And Vegas was the obvious answer.
Right.
And so we had our wedding here, obviously. And it was really cool to have her family fly down and like meet all the porn stars and finally realize like what our life was about, like community and like the good people that we found in this industry.
Yeah.
There was definitely some contention there for a while after my parents found out, and then they were just like not really cool with it, but then them coming down for like the wedding and stuff and meeting everybody, and like it was really
It
cool.
changed a
actually.
lot,
They
yeah.
were like, wow, I'm so happy to see that you found like cool people and a good community. And
Well, I don't want to pry too deep, but this is very interesting to me. So, as a trans person, I know 90% of the stories. I'm being hyperbolic, but so many people's stories that are trans, having family participate in such a big event is kind of like, well, pulling teeth, not
Right.
to be weird, but but like your family was amenable and they actually came down.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I'd say it took several years for them to kind of be cool with it. My mom found out from one of my exes, I guess, on like April Fool's Day. I woke up to a thing like, "Is there a Twitter with you where you post naked pictures of yourself?" And then too late. I already saw it. I was like, "Oh no." So she wasn't really happy for a while, and we had some arguments and stuff. I think eventually she kind of got it, and I had like a lot of arguments, like, "Hey, like, why are you so upset? Like, I'm happy right now. I wasn't happy doing what I was doing before. Like, you saw the depression, you saw how hard it was on me, and now that I'm happy, like, maybe we can just accept that this is cool, you know?" So
Right.
yeah, my dad, my mom, my brother, some cousins and uncles and aunts came down, and then like a lot of friends from here, and it was like really cool.
My goodness. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
It was nice.
Your family definitely took it better than mine.
Really? I don't want to pry, but not so
No,
positive on your side?
I think it has more to do with the trans thing than the porn thing.
Really?
My mother likes to refer to Sarina as that thing that I'm with.
Jeezy
So-
flips.
Yeah.
I don't talk to her.
We don't talk to her.
But-
Wow.
Yeah.
And you know what? The funny thing is that she really likes me. Like
She
her
does.
mom really likes me.
She
You can
really
tell by
likes
the
her.
interactions.
You know,
She
like this.
she doesn't want to like me.
Ah.
Always
She'll-
make a jab.
She'll just jab, and I'm like, I can't deal.
And out of context, like at a point when it's not even about me, she'll throw something in. And
We were
say
talking about
something.
my dog that passed away, and she just like said that about my wife, and I was like, "Are you serious right now?"
Oh, and then she called me cousin it.
Cousin it. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was another one.
So I was just
She
like,
thinks she's
real
clever.
creative. Yeah.
Do you feel that there's like any potential hope that your mom will come around?
Well, my dad eventually came around.
Really? The dad came first.
Yeah, surprisingly, actually, yeah. He was not so upset about the porn anymore. And then when he met Sarina, a lot of things changed. You know, actually, he met some other trans people at my wedding, and he was telling me how wonderful they were and all this stuff. And I was like, see, Dad, like,
Yeah. I think he got
Funny
a little
that when you
touched.
meet somebody in the flesh,
right?
Yeah.
right?
You have a lot of thoughts beforehand, but
Yeah.
you make up ideas in your head.
We still got to get mom on board.
Yeah, her and my sister are.
It's a little hopeless.
It
Yeah.
takes time. It
I-
does. It does take time. It does
Yeah,
take
it's
time.
been 6
Hey,
or
yeah.
7 years. I've been trying, but
Yeah.
It's so weird because Robin, from like your point of view, it's usually like the opposite thing. It's usually the trans person family is the big hurdle that you got to get over. But to hear like your family is the just for sake of keeping it simple, the less accepting. It seems like that's like the opposite of the way the story normally goes.
yeah, my mother found out that I was into girls when I was in high school, and she like lost her shit. She came and flew my door open, screaming at me like, "No child of mine," you know, the usual.
Yeah.
So, you know, I tried to pretend to be straight for a while. And then, you know, I had a few girlfriends here and there, and she hated every one of them. She would call them trolls or stuff like that. And then when I met Sarina, I realized that I wasn't into men, that I just really liked dick. So, I mean, I love women, all women, but I thought also like maybe I was into men, but it actually just turns out, you know.
It just seems like it's like this perfect confluence of something physically that you like,
Yeah.
something emotionally you like, something aesthetically you like, and you just found the perfect partner.
Yeah.
Everything.
She just
all
fell in my lap.
exactly a perfect puzzle piece is what it sounds like.
Yeah, I think within 2 hours I was eating your ass after meeting you.
Yeah. Our first date. She eats ass on the first date.
Yeah. I always wanted to eat a girl's ass. And she was like, yeah. And I don't even remember how it happened, but
All right.
I put my face in there and I started hearing Cinderella, so this is love.
Love it. I love it. Oh.
Yeah, it was funny actually because like when we did meet on Tinder, we started talking a bit, and I was kind of like, oh, like, you know, I don't know if you're going to be into me really. I have like a lot of trouble with dating and stuff because, and she's like, well, why? Like, I don't see why. And I was like, well, I have a penis for one.
There's a
I
lot of
didn't
things.
realize. I didn't read her profile.
Right. Well, from a trans person's point of view, there's a lot going on. Just trying to deal with yourself as a
Yeah.
person and then trying to like investigate interpersonal relationships. But what is beautiful about this is that the humanity came first and the complications just fucking went away because once you find a person on a human level that just matches, everything else is bullshit. It's details. It's just details. I love that about you guys.
Yeah, it was kind of nice because I'd been through like a lot of like poor dating situations and stuff.
Oh, I
for
imagine.
her. But then, I kind of gave up on everything. I quit my job. I was doing the cam thing and I was like, I'm just going to have my freedom. So I'm going to live in my crappy $300 car and just whatever. So when I rolled up to her place in this, like normally you'd think that would be a negative. My little car with its like duct taped on bumper and all that. And the brakes were actually so bad. When we went for a drive to go to the store, I'm like going to a stop. It's like, and I'm like, just don't listen to that. I turned the radio up. I just stopped caring, and apparently that was
That was
somewhat.
my favorite thing about
It was
her.
kind of endearing.
She
about
didn't.
it.
Fuck
She didn't give a fuck,
Fuck yeah.
and I was like, "That's fucking hot."
Hell
She's
yeah.
just herself, and that's it.
And then I was like, oh great, somebody who's like obviously not like just worried about, wealth or status or this or that. Like it's more about the person. Our first date was like we went down to the beach and we pitched a tent and we slept on the beach at night and listened to the waves crashing in, and then the next
Oh,
day
you forgot the part that you made me wade through waist deep water to get to the
I
site,
did.
but I didn't complain. I was so happy for the adventure.
I figured if we went on a date and I made her wade through like waist deep water and then she didn't complain, like that's a really good. And I was like,
Litmus
don't.
test.
It's beautiful here. Like when we get there, it'll be worth it. So just believe me.
This is the most like heart-achingly beautiful love story
It's
I've
so
ever
gorgeous.
heard. This is amazing. I'll tell you this though. I'm going to rein it back in for a little bit because we're coming up on that time. And so what I want to do, I want to ask you guys this. Now I'm going to do a gear shift. I want to ask you guys, and now that we got two of you, this is going to be like a 6-part answer question thing to wrap up the show. But normally what we do is we say, if there were 3 pieces of advice that you'd give to up-and-comers with all of your experience in mind, there's no wrong or right answer. It's just what your perspective is. What are 3 pieces of advice that you'd give to somebody coming up in this industry? Now, I'm going to start just randomly with you, Sarina. 3 pieces of advice that you give to an up-and-comer.
What you got, baby?
So I would say one good one that I would say is to make sure to diversify your income sources and make sure that you have more than one, because sometimes the site goes down and now you're out of a source. So if you have 5 others, then you're going to be okay, Second one, I would say go with your gut, actually.
Meaning, elaborate on that. What do you mean go with your gut?
So like, when it comes to like shooting or collaborating with someone or like really just feeling a situation out when you get offered something, if you have a bad feeling about it, maybe trust your instinct. I think sometimes there's this want to like say yes to everything. Like, oh, it's an opportunity. I want opportunities. But sometimes,
You have to know when to say no.
yeah, you have to know when to say no.
You gotta trust
Yes.
your gut in this industry
This
for
is
sure.
very,
Yeah.
yes, that's absolutely, I love that.
Yeah.
What's
And
that-
then I
what's the
guess
third one.
the third one,
It can be something esoteric. It can be something that's just about you, that your perspective is absolutely valid. What's the third one?
so I would say, like, with most things that, like, if you really want to do this, because I get a lot of people like, how do I do this? How do I do that?
You
What's
get
the
those. You get those
secret?
emails too,
Yeah,
don't
what's
you?
the
You get those
secret?
DMs.
You're like, there's not really a secret. Like, there's a lot of hard work and effort put into this, right? And so the thing is, we heard this thing where a speaker said, don't get out of line before your number is called. And that was something that really stuck with me over the years. When we're having the hard time, when we're having the tooth issues or the car's breaking down every time I had a hard time, I would just say, don't get out of line before your number is called.
I love this. I love this, what you say. This is, that's amazing advice. I love it. So what I'll do is I'll transfer to you, Robin. Robin, 3 pieces of advice from your own perspective. What would you say to somebody up and coming?
One of the biggest things is just fucking do it. Don't go, oh, I need this to do it. I need that to do it. I got to get your fucking phone. Just do it. If you have something that you are dreaming about, don't wait for the perfect opportunity to do it. Just start from somewhere. Just, that's what we did. I mean, it's working for us. Maybe we started from scratch, so it's taking some time. But everything that we've done and everything that we have is ours. Yeah, it's very rewarding, and it's never too late to start. Just do it.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I love this. You go. Life's too short.
You'll build along the way. You know, it's just like a video game. You start out with no weapons, no nothing. You're going around. You got your little stick, and then you pick up weapons along the way, and then now you've got a staff. And
Don't wait for permission. Go.
exactly, just go.
Better beg for forgiveness and wait for permission, right?
Yeah,
Right,
absolutely.
right.
In a general sense, yes. Number 2.
So it kind of goes along with number 1, of course, and that is follow the things that make you happy in life. Like, you know, don't focus your energy on things that, you know, are in the way or that maybe are hurtful. Focus your energy on the things that make you feel good. And then they will continue to come to you because that's what your direction is, you know. And so, like, my passion randomly that I didn't expect became trans girls.
Sure.
And I have a new lease on life. And so, like, you know, don't listen to the voices and the people that tell you don't do it. Like, Mom, follow your fucking heart, dude.
Yes,
Just follow your heart.
absolutely. What's a third one? It could be something stupid and practical. Maybe something that you recognized on set that you'd like to speak to.
I got it. Clean your fucking lens.
Hey.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Every time you pick up your camera, clean the lens.
This is not wrong. This is absolutely me raising my hand. 17 years in this business. I can't tell you how many times I've been in a situation where I've reviewed footage and I went, "Holy shit! There was there's a smudge, and you can't digitally get rid of it in post production. Why didn't I schmutz my lens?
Yeah.
It takes
Why did you schmutz it?
5 seconds of your time, and like a $5 worth of like lens cleaning fabric that you get from Walmart. There's no excuse. Clean your lens.
Yeah. When you create something, it stays that way forever.
Absolutely.
You can't go back.
Yeah.
But also, you know, cleans your lens on the way you view life and the way you view people.
Look at this one. Look at this one.
I know I'm a big hippie.
This I love.
Love it.
Guys, thank you so much for coming on the episode.
Thank you.
Sarina Havok, Robin Coffins. This is everything I imagined it
Yeah.
would be. This is amazing.
Thank you.
Everybody loves you.
I just got to fangirl for fucking 50 minutes. So.
Yeah, this is such an amazing episode. And for everybody that's watching and everybody that's listening, thank you so much for paying attention to this episode of the Approximate Podcast. Stay tuned for more episodes, but I mean, Stephanie, I like this one. I like this one a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so
Great
much.
to be on.
We appreciate it.
Absolutely. And with that being said, we love you and we'll see you later. All right, bye.